Hey everyone, before we go into the races I have lined up for this video, I just wanted to do a quick introduction as to what this series is going to be. A series that I wanted to show people that even with just the PlayStation 5, just like free applications, minimal buying of things, you can run a YouTube series yourself. I'm using a PS5, I'm playing with my DualSense controller rather than my racing wheel. All very minimal, and I'll put all the things that I'm using in the description. So here we have our daily race C1 make race with the Mazda RX-7. I've gone for the brilliant black, and the first race of the two I've got lined up that you're about to see right now is Absolute Carnage. I've never committed such atrocious crimes in my life, and I apologize to everyone in this race. But here's the starting line. My plan is, of course, I'm just using the DualSense controller, so not a great thing for smooth driving. But my plan here is to drop it into level 1 traction control just for the takeoff. Wait for me to drop it into second gear, and then I take away the traction control for the rest of the race. So a really decent start. Gain a couple spaces there already, but then you notice straight away here I brake really late, and then I use Farico there in the brilliant black RX-7 as just a guide around that corner, and we'll be seeing a lot more of Farico during this race as well. It's coming into the hairpin, I go wide, get pushed wide even further still, come round, and then we see Farico here making more contact. It's just pretty much a battle between me and Farico for the rest of this. And I want to say that none of the contact I make with Farico was deliberate. It was honestly, this is just me getting used to using not my racing wheel, but just the DualSense controller and trying to race smoothly. So a prime example of this is coming up right now in the next couple seconds. Right here, you can see I'm already way too close to him, and I just absolutely wipe him out coming into this long right-hander. So give him back the space, try and get back into behind him right there, end up making a little bit of contact, but we managed to make it in front of Tequila in the blue RX-7 behind us. We managed an overtake on Farico here, but looking at the radar and then briefly looking behind me here, I notice his nose is still on the rear of the car, so I wasn't able to get that inside line. I take it wide, which was a good thing due to Tequila absolutely bombing into the hairpin. But we don't really take that corner very good. I didn't hook up the apex very well, so we concede those 2 spaces back. Managed to take Tequila again here, coming into this final hairpin up to the final straight. I hook the apex better than Farico does, and just still can't quite get that speed on him in the launch that he's managing to get. So coming in, we're still close behind him again, coming into this right-hander. Almost hit him again, ruined my apex. So you can see Tequila in the radar right behind me following my line. So here we were entering lap 3, pretty much in the same position we were in lap 2, just behind Farico. I make a bit of contact, push him slightly wide, but decide I'm going to try it. Don't quite do it. I end up drifting a little bit, losing speed. So I'm just behind him for the hairpin, and I managed to just wipe him out on the hairpin again. And just watching it back makes me cringe. And then Tequila comes through, smashing his way through. I end up drifting all over the place and losing my space to Farico again. So still stuck in 7th place. Coming up to this hairpin. My idea was to hook up the apex just a little bit better, try and get that speed out of the corner. I just still can't quite get the exit on the throttle as good as I really wish I could. Just due to the fact that I'm using a trigger rather than a set of pedals. I just can't quite get it. I see me drifting wide there as well. So it's just that it's a complete learning curve. It is, especially this first race. But I'll get there eventually just using the DualSense. But here we managed to, they're fighting a lot, so we're managing to catch back that time a little bit. start gaining with Furico here on these bends, and then coming up to here, I take him out again. I decide that actually this was so horrific a move. It's worth just giving him his space back, because I don't want to go to jail for such a horrific crime. So I decide to give him his space back. Puts me back so far from Furico. I'm now stuck in 8th place. So it's not looking great for me in this first race at all. But just trying to get that, you know, gain that time back to Furico. See if I can maybe get the overtake. At least a 7th place finish, you know. Got 2 more laps to go after this. Got more than enough time to catch back up, make a move. So just trying to hook up all my apexes here, get a good launch out of this corner, then hopefully we can gain that time back. So I notice he goes wide here, so we managed to just take it that little bit better than he does. So catch a fair amount of time up with him, at least a couple hundreds. We managed to get back here as well, just gain that time on him. I realised if I could drive that little bit cleaner, I'd be a faster driver than Furico here. So I know I can catch him up, and I have been right here catching him up quite quickly. So I know if I can make the move, I can pull away just as fast. I keep noticing he does this actually. Goes wide on the hairpin, so I knew if I could hook all my apexes up right, I'd be able to make that move and pull away. So just behind him now, coming into the long right hand corner, the final corner here. Don't quite brake right, I have to brake heavily to avoid him, so I lose a lot of time again. Just trying to get it right with this controller. So coming into the first corner here, trying to take it that little bit wider so I can cut a little bit tighter here, because I know that he takes them wide. I thought I could get the move, but I was just too enthusiastic with the throttle and drifted myself out. And same here, just not hooking up these braking lines as consistently as I would be liking. So not a great race for me here. Of course, as I said, this is the bad example, so there's a better race after this. But just how horrifically embarrassing to watch it back and see how bad I was in this first race. So final straight coming to the long right hander, the final corner of this lap, and it looks like we're going to have to settle for an 8th place. But then our old friend Tequila decides to be very charitable and do this.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
So as I'm never one to say no to a free position in a race, we happily accept that and move into 7th, and we finish 7th there on the grid just behind Furico. So not a great race in any way, and horrifically embarrassing for me, that because I'm the one that did it. So not great, but I will get there. I will practice with just the controller and try and get efficient, hook up those apexes with just the triggers and the joysticks. But a long road ahead, I think, from the look of that race. So the next race I have lined up much better. You see me in the back there, the back right, again brilliant black RX-7. This is directly after that last race. Although I had a good amount of time to go away, think about my life, and decide that I wanted to race like a gentleman. So same plan here, traction control level 1, wait till I change it to gear 2 and drop the traction control away. We managed to get into the middle of the pack here, and you'll notice here, braking much earlier. A lot of trading paint though still going on. I get pushed wide, but just better from my end, I think, that first corner with all the carnage going on. Here we managed to just make contact with the back of this guy here. I decided that I didn't quite care, so I was going to make the move and get in here behind Starshine, drifting a lot, losing a lot of time, but they're fighting a lot at the front, so not too bad, not a lot of time lost. So we managed to just slowly catch up with Starshine. Here we are up beside this white RX-7, drag race to the final corner here. Just don't quite have the speed, but he slows down just a little bit earlier than me, goes off the track, which is lovely for me, and I'll happily accept that. And here we're behind Starshine and comfortably in position 5 now at the end of lap 1. So first corner, just trying to hook up the apex, and I just can't get that launch right with the trigger. I either come out way too quickly, or I'm too enthusiastic with the trigger and I drift out of the corner. But I will get there, I'll get used to that. So the plan is here to just try and gain as much as I can on Starshine, because you can see second place, third place, they're right there. So if Starshine is fast enough and I'm fast enough, we have that chance of being able to make a move on the white and blue RX-7s up ahead. Maybe even finish in a podium position, which would be fantastic given the outcome of our last race. So coming up to the final right hand sweeping corner here, gaining a little bit on Starshine, trying to get a good launch. Easy to go too much, like too hard out of that corner or too little out of that corner, you lose time either way. See Starshine going much wider there than he should be, but then I mess up that exit, so it doesn't quite matter for him, he just pulls away. Then coming up to this hairpin, you see some fighting going on again, third place, second place. We're really on their tail now, so Starshine right behind the white RX-7 there. We're just managing to get them into our crosshairs. The blue RX-7 getting shoved into the grass there. I decided to go wide, and I'm glad I did, because the other two decided to have a massive fight on that hairpin. So me and Starshine managed to comfortably get through into podium position. So hopefully we can hold on to this. And I'd love to say that the rest of the race was super exciting, constantly trying to pass Starshine. But the rest of the race is honestly just me behind Starshine, struggling to gain any time on him. Or her. Woman can race too. And yeah, no one really wants to see 2 laps of like no progress, so I'll time lapse that. So here we find ourselves at the end of the race, just before the sweeping corner, just before the finish line. And you can see that Starshine, they've pulled away about a second ahead of us. So there wasn't really much I could do unless I suddenly got amazing within 3 laps. But not a bad finish for someone who started 11th on the grid. A podium finish is much better than the first race, I'm sure you'll agree. So I really enjoyed recording these, putting this together for you guys. Of course, as I said, this is the beginning of the YouTube series, so if you notice anything, if you have even any tips and tricks, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll leave the description of what I'm using in my YouTube channel, and underneath this video of what I use for my editing software and what my hardware is. But thank you ever so much for joining, and I hope to see you again next time.